Hey everybody, how's it going? Um, gonna talk a little bit about democracy and the ideals of democracy. Um, and Basically, this is broken down into the different ideals of democracy. Um, the first one of these is limited government. Okay. Um, so Limited government is the idea that in our constitutional government, um, that the government is limited by the Constitution. In other words, the Constitution lays out things that the government can't do. All right. Very important question, and it's one that we're going to discuss in class tomorrow, next week, whenever we get to discuss this. What could happen if government weren't limited? So we have a government that can do whatever it wants. Why is that a problem? Why do we need limited government? The second one is natural rights. And natural rights, as you can see, it basically says humans are born with rights, which include the right to life, liberty, and property. Okay. Somewhat controversial. Okay, and we'll talk about those controversies a little more in class. But you know, basically what this is saying is that if you are born a United States citizen, if you're born an American, you have the same rights as everybody else. And again, we'll talk about the controversies that go along with this a little bit. We'll also talk about, um, you know, that question down below there with, this natural right coexisting with limited government. The third one is called popular sovereignty. All right. And the first couple times I saw that word, I'm not going to lie, I pronounced it sovereignty or something like that. It is a hard word to pronounce. And again, it's popular sovereignty. Um, it wasn't last week. It was when I was young, but um, I'm just trying to look out for you so you don't sound silly if you don't say it right. Um, so, popular sovereignty is a belief that ultimate power resides in the people. So, just to boil this down, do we have power to the people? Do we have this in the United States? Again, when we're together and we're talking together, it's something we are going to talk about. Republicanism, and this has nothing to do with the Republican Party. You'll hear that a lot. Like, you hear a word with Republican in it or Republic, and you hear words with democracy or Democrat in it. Does not have anything to do with the political party. It's just an idea um, that the people that we elect serve at our will. So, in other words, they're supposed to do what we want, and it's often referred to as consent of the governed. Um, do we have that in the U.S.? Um, we'll discuss that as well. Social contract, and this one is one that a lot of kids get confused on. It's an agreement among individuals, and it says, hey, you will get your rights, but you have to give something up to get that. In other words, you have to say, yeah, I'll pay taxes. I'll abide by the rules of the government. I'll follow the law, but the government is going to take care of me. And it is a quid pro quo situation. Um, and we'll get into that as well. So that's social contract. Um, Again, these are ideals of democracy, and we'll talk about them more. Um, just real quick on the Declaration, you're going to be reading the Declaration, but just to lay this out for you, there are a couple different parts of the Declaration. You can see the preamble, the beginning statement, the opening. Why are we writing this document? The document gives a statement of beliefs and philosophies. It gives a list of grievances and complaints. And it gives a statement of prior attempts to remedy grievances. Okay, so what did we do to try to work out our complaints? And I'm saying all this. The Declaration of Independence was really a letter. It was a letter to the King of England. So this is all addressed to him. And then at the end is the actual Declaration of Independence. It's the part where it says, hey, we want to be independent. So a couple of things, more things with that. It was signed on July 4th, 1776, which is somewhat where we get the 4th of July. You can see there's three principles are a big part of this, and they're just ones we just mentioned. And you can see there, natural rights are present in the Declaration, the consent of the governed, and obviously limited government. Limited government may be the biggest one because where we were coming from in England, there wasn't limited government. The king pretty much did what he wanted to do. All right, that is all for this lecture. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you weren't too bored, and we'll discuss a lot of this stuff later on.